And we should be live, hopefully, maybe. Hello, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Howdy, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day to everyone. So, plan today is to carry on with the Voron build. Said build, episode 1. If you haven't seen it already, go and check it out. Today's stream and all of our Voron streams, my Voron streams are sponsored by Farm and Big Tree Tech. So here's a little quick reminder just so you know that. This video would not have been possible without our sponsors Farm and Big Tree Tech. So a big thank you to them for supporting Vector 3D. You can find out more by just watching some more, or you can follow the links in the video description. There you go, that's just to let you know. There'll be a little bit more about them later in the stream. There are a couple of things we need to get on with, well, need to do before we get started. A quick little recap. Obviously, last stream we got on with the frame. Had a couple of issues with the nuts, but we solved that. That I think was just me being kind of not familiar with them, even though I've used this kind of nuts before. Anyway, didn't go well to begin with, but we got it all in. Nuts and everything seem to be okay. Linear rails all installed. One of them, I think it's this one over here. Oh no, I think it's this one here. It has a bit of a slow patch in the middle, whereas the others seem to fall very consistently. So that one's maybe not perfect, but I think it's not going to be a problem. It doesn't seem to be a big deal. And with just a little bit of force, you can barely tell any difference. They also don't really have much in the way of lubricant on them yet, so I think a little bit of lubricant and that will be good as well. Before we get started with the actual building, there is a change I've made to my threaded insert heated jig thing, which we used at the end of last episode. So one of the issues I was having, well, I wouldn't necessarily call it an issue, but one of the noticeable things was that this part, just where the kind of grip is, did get rather warm, and the PLA which I was using got pretty soft. So I've added this part, well, I've replaced it, I should say, with ABS Plus, and I've also added these kind of little lips at the bottom, so when you're kind of forcing it down, it's just a little bit more to grip there, and that's working pretty well. My nails are quite long, aren't they? I've just noticed. Anyway, so that's the basic change I've made to that. Everything still slides in and out, so if I need to get that soldering line out, that can still be a thing, but it presses up into there and does that nice and tightly. So that's the change there. There is one other thing. Because we had a bit kind of bad luck, I guess, during the first episode, I did do a bit of research online just to see kind of any things I could be doing a little bit different. So there's one little change I do need to make. Let me just go grab it, and we'll be back in just a second. It's not a major change, but I think it will help overall in the long run. So again, I don't think it's going to change anything too dramatically, but a bit of research online suggested that this could be the difference between the success that other people are having and the kind of success that I've had so far. Things have not gone perfectly, but also not too badly, I suppose, really. So yeah, obviously you need an apron. That's I think really critical to good success. So there we go, got an apron. Right, it's brand new, don't know how to use it, but I've got one now, and apparently that's going to make the world of difference to my success. So there we go. I think we're all ready and equipped now to get started. That's it. We're ready to go. So the threaded inserts, I think, are all going to be done for now. There's not much we need to change there. Those are all ready to go. The only thing we've got to carry on with is the motors. So I've got some motors which I can use, but they're not the right motors. They're just some random motors that I had laying around. So they'll work for purposes of completing the assembly, so we can kind of move forwards and progress, but they're not going to be the final motors. I'm going to have to replace them at some point. So I won't be putting thread locker on these, on the gears that I put on them when I do them. That's not because I'm saying you shouldn't. That's because I'm going to be taking them off, and I know I'm going to be taking them off, and it probably won't be that long before I do swap them. But I do want to kind of progress and be doing the right thing. So that's the plan for today. So of course, first we need to get those pulleys and all of this kind of shims and bearings and other stuff. So I think a lot of those are going to be in this one package. Yeah, I think most of that and the shims are here. Yeah, I did see that I could leave the motors and not do them, but I thought it's best to kind of actually do it and then replace them rather than just ignore them and skip the steps. So we got some big 80 teeth pulleys. I got black ones. There's no real reason to have black ones. I thought it might look quite cool, but it also might not necessarily. It's probably not going to be any better, but there you go. Might look a bit snazzy with having some black pulleys. I don't think they're all black anyway, so it's not going to be that great. Here's a bunch of bearings. The 625, yeah, that's the right one. So we got a whole kind of little roll up of bearings. Let's get that out of the way. Got some other bearings. There's a flange. That's not what I need at the moment. Belts I don't need at the moment. These little loops I believe I'm going to need. So these are kind of single loop. I think they're like 188 teeth or something like that. Yep, 188 teeth, 2 GT. So that's that lot. What else do we need? GT2 20 teeth, 9mm wide pulley. I'm not sure why we need 9mm wide pulleys when there's 6mm wide belts. But whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm guessing it's just so the spacing is right. We don't have to have loads of shims on it. So I've got smaller one. I'm presuming. I don't know. These are 20 teeth. Don't want the idlers. We're going to need those. We're going to need shafts. Most of the contents of this box, by the looks of it, and then some M5 shims. The belts that hold the gantry up. My belts that hold the gantry up are 6mm belts. So, yeah. Oh no, those are what I'm moving. Ah, yes. Yes, so, yeah, there were 2 lots of belts. Obviously, I keep forgetting that there's belts for Z. That's just, I've not done a printer with Z belts before. So this is what we're working on first, is this kind of assembly here. In fact, no, let's put these pulleys on. Oh, we do need the other ones. Of course we do. I'm an idiot. 1, 2, 3, 16 teeth. Yeah, 1, 2, no, 3, 4, 16 teeth. Pulley. Righty-ho. I think we just need this bag of shims. Yes. X, Y, A, B. All the same to me. Well, apart from they're not. So, the first thing we're going to do, we need some tools. Let's get some tools. Some of the tools I've used previously are now linked in the description. So, they're a bit easier to access. But I'm using these at the moment. These are new. And I quite enjoy using them. So, I'm going to carry on using them for a bit. let's put these pulleys on these motorhooks. So it doesn't really tell you where at the moment. So I'll just put them on roughly, and that'll be enough to get us started. Let's just zoom in on this angle. I think this is a pretty good angle for building stuff in it. Don't need the instructions at the moment. If you do want to see the instructions at the same time, there is a link in the bottom of the description which will lead you to the Voron page where you can download the manual. You don't have to do any, there's no payment or anything, so you can just download that. Open it in a PDF reader, follow along if you want to. Thanks, Alexander. Enjoy your studying. I know it's not the best fun, but we all go through that. Good luck. Hope you get through it quickly. Am I going to convince you to build? I'm not going to convince anyone to build anything. I'm going to let you know as much as I can about what I think about either of them, both of them, compare them, and it's up to you which you think is the best for you. So that's for motors done. They're all the wrong motors, but that'll do for now. So now we can move on to this assembly here, which is just a big stack of things. So I got my pulleys all in this kit, my shafts rather. So we've got 4 shafts. So obviously doing this assembly 4 times, that should be fairly apparent. So it looks like bearing in the middle. Need something to open this package. Get a bunch, ooh, very nice shiny shims. Shiny shims. Looks like we've got 2 of these on either side. Right, 2 each side. Not really much in terms of positioning at the moment. I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, sorry, wrong angle. Oh, wrong angle again. There we go. It depends what options you go for. Both of these printers, the Rat Rig and the Voron, are so configurable that the price can vary quite a lot. But yeah, roughly speaking, they are similar sort of ballpark. They're not like double the price of the other or anything. After that, we've got a 9mm pulley. And then on this side, we have 80 teeth pulley. This one looks like the doobly-doos need to be installed, so that's what this bag of bits is. So the little grub screws that we got to get in the end. Oops. Oh, there's lots of different sizes. I think this is the bigger ones. Oh, these are enormous grub screws. Yep, that's going to go through here. So we've got to twiddle that all the way down to the bottom. And then there should be another one, and that's at a different angle on that. Approximately 120 degrees different. Interesting. Yes, still very much in the early phase at the moment. We don't have much more than a frame and some rails on it, but we'll get there. It shall be a printer one day. I think we'll make a fair bit of progress. The first stream is always a lot of setup and introduction, so it takes a little bit longer. So I'm guessing this is going to sit in here, isn't it? So the alignment of all these kind of stack of pieces, you want to base on this. I don't think it's a matter of too much, as long as you've got a good portion of the shaft in the bearings at either end. Everything else should just sit in place. Oops, make sure we get that in there. Just a little bit. Oh, it sticks out the bottom, that's why. Well, that seems fine, but I think we could improve a little bit. There's not much coming out here, and there's a bit sticking out this end. So I'm going to loosen all of these. Oops, it is. Oops, it is. It's all over the place. Loosen this. Loosen this. Oh, there we go. So now I'm just going to try and position the shaft approximately in the middle, which that sort of is, maybe. Well, should be a little bit longer, I think, really, but oops. So we've got to make sure, as it says on the diagram, you can see on here, they're all kind of compressed along the, can you? There we go. They're all compressed within the middle and there's gaps here. So when you assemble them, you just got to make sure that if you do what I did and loosen them, you've got to push those two into the middle as you go. That looks pretty snazzy, all in black. Now we've got to make a few more. So I guess we, I don't think that's going to really help. Need a bearing. 2 shims on one side, 2 shims on the other side. Just like that. And then a do-do-do on here, like that. And one of these, like that. Oh no, we've got to do the things with the thing. In fact, I might do all of those now. Oops, a daisy. I'm going to get, oh dear, all these grub screws into the pulleys. These are a bit fiddly. There's one thing I like about these, because you've got a long shaft here, you can use that to spin it really quick, and then for more torque you've got the handle at the end. Quite nice. Damn it, which one did I just do? Not that one. So this one. I'm not sure, but I think the coating on these pulleys is a powder coat, quite a thin powder coat rather than anodized. So not the best quality. It may be some other coating that I'm not aware of. For most people, I'd probably recommend just going with the silver ones. Oh, that's weird. Oh, have I just put that in the same hole? What an idiot. There we go. Let's turn that one. And then we'll get the other one down here. Why do I keep losing track of which one I've put in? It seems like it would be easy, but apparently it's not. There we go. So now if we grab this, put that on that side, and then another bearing on either end. There you go. So the whole lot's loose, and we'll get our kind of jig, I suppose. Drop that in there, that on that side, that on that side. Try to centre the shaft as best we can, and then start tightening. We do want to make sure that the pulleys round. Try and get the shaft flat pointing upwards when you do it. Just make tightening the pulleys on a little bit easier. Is that one of those electric screwdrivers by any chance? It's quite difficult actually to pull this way and this way at the same time. And tighten. Very good. Should we have done, make sure to apply thread lock compound not only to the 9mm pulley grub screws but also the 82. I knew it! I knew I'd get something. Oh man alive. Okay. Oh, I've got to take all of these out. There's definitely a distinct smell to this thread locker. I don't know what it really smells of, but it smells of something. So pulleys on the other end. Screws on the other pulley is what I mean. Quite a storm going on here. You probably can't hear it, but you reckon the stick's easier than the liquid? I don't know. Maybe it is. As long as you get the same result with the liquid as you can get with this, then I guess either's going to be just fine. Now I've got to pull this one apart to do the screws. The second grub screw seems to be doing basically nothing. It smells a bit like shoe polish. I think that's what this Loctite smells like. Anyone else think Loctite smells like shoe polish? Didn't realise how long this little process would take. Because it's taking longer because some idiot forgot to put Loctite on them the first time. So I think on this really long thread for this screw, a lot of that Loctite's going to rub off on that thread and not get all the way down. But I think the thing with the glue stick is when you can kind of put a little bit back if you kind of grab a bit and it's too much, whereas with a liquid, once it's out, you can't really you can't put that cat back in the bag. Cat in the bag? That's not quite what I meant. Right, gonna have to grab these out of here. Is nail polish made of the same stuff? I wasn't aware. Well, obviously it's not going to be exactly the same, but I guess it's kind of a hardening plasticizer sort of compound, isn't it? So it's actually really warm doing this in an apron. Who'd have thought? It is quite a thick old apron. It's not old, it's brand new, but it's a thick apron. That is Loctite 248. This is what is recommended. Right. So I'm going to do a quick promo now, just a short sponsor video. It's a minute and a bit long, just to say thank you to the sponsors, and you'll learn a little bit about what they're providing. This live stream would not have been possible without our sponsors, Filofarm and Big Tree Tech. Filofarm are a 3D printing bed specialist based in Germany. Filoprint is their high-performance, durable print surface designed to grip parts tightly when hot, but release them when cold. Their switch system utilises a strong magnetic sticker and 0.6mm spring steel to allow for easy swapping of bed surfaces. The bed plates offered are made from cast aluminium plate and are extremely flat, helping you get the best adhesion across the whole first layer. All of this can be made to standard sizes or customised upon request. Keep on watching to find out more, or follow the links in the video description. The Big Tree Tech Octopus is a 32-bit control board with loads of connectivity options for performance 3D printers like the Voron 2.4 and Raprig V-Core 3. It can connect up to 8 stepper drivers, 8 fans, 6 end stops, 5 thermistors, 4 heaters plus BL Touch, RGB LEDs, a TFT screen, USB-C and more. Pairing the Octopus with TMC 2209 stepper motor drivers allows for quiet operation using Stealth Chop, performance using Spread Cycle and Stool Guard for sensorless homing. Big Tree Tech also offer a mini 12864 display, which is ideal for the Voron 2.4 design. Check the links in the description to find out more. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring. It doesn't say what? I updated it. I literally rendered a new copy. No way does it still say sponsored. It says sponsored now. Yeah. Doesn't say sponsored. No sponsored for me. When using the Octopus board, is the diode still necessary on the PL08 gantry probe, or does the board take care of that already? At the moment, I don't know, but if you're around when I do that episode, when I'm installing the board, we'll have that information for then. From what I've heard, you don't need it, but I can't verify that obviously until I've done it myself. Ooh, dear. Putting this on this way round. Oh, no we're not, because we can't do that. There we go. And then, oh, with a bearing on the end. Like that. And then switch around. That on there. That on there. Stick it in a thing. You maybe just read that because that's what you wanted to read, but I'm 100% sure I re-rendered it, and I've just checked the file and it says sponsored. Oh, you idiot. Fool. That's three of those. One more to do. One, two, that. Oh, come on. There we go. On there, switch around, 2 spaces, 80 teeth pulley, and a bearing. Stick it in here. Job's a good one. Right, that's 4 of those pulley things. So we've done this kind of whole assembly, grub screws and everything in. thread look compound not only on the 9mm pulley grub screws, but also the 80 teeth pulley. Do we want it? Surely it's just on the, it means the grub screws for the 80 teeth pulley, not the pulley itself. That would be strange. So now we've got to work out how we've got to get the belt on here. So it looks like that on there, that on there, M3x40 screws. Where are those? M3x40. So let's come back to the close-up here. So 6 screws. They go... Oh, that's weird. So the threaded inserts are actually being used from the other side. That is not a thing that I expected. Okay then. So this has got to go over here though. Is this the right way around? Yeah, so over here on that pulley. Oh. That down there. That through there, that up there. Like a so. Yeah, that's that way, and then these are coming through from the other side. I think it's really greasy. It must be, is it the Loctite? Maybe it's the screws, it's probably the screws. I should have considered the black screws, shouldn't I? Because you, everything's just the same colour on the as I'm assembling it. There's no contrast to tell you what I'm working on. Oh well, can't win everything. Gotta say, I know it's not going to perform any better, but being in all black looks pretty freaking sweet. So this was this on here. This on here. And this on here. Very nice. Oh, no, that's the wrong way around. That's for this one. That's for this one. And that's for this one. Hola from Spain. Hola to Spain. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Está? I don't really know. I know some. I know enough to know that I know what I don't know in Spanish, and I don't know most of it. This use of threaded inserts here is a little bit weird in my mind. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But because the screw is pulling them into the part, it's like you could just use a nut. Two down. Numéro 3. Oh, I was going to do an Australian accent this stream, wasn't I? Never mind. That's probably best avoided. Oop. Geometry and printed parts are all really good though at the moment. Sometimes printed parts, especially when they're not printed by yourself and you've not really checked everything, like they can be a little bit dodgy in terms of sizing. Some people's tolerances are a bit optimistic, whereas these ones seem all pretty good. Everything just kind of fits as you expect. That's number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good practice if they're the first inserts you come across in the build, I guess. True. I mean, I guess you mean like if they're the first ones you've done, they're the most likely to be a bit pants. Not quite right. If they use more nuts, you couldn't have used your insert tool so much. Well, yes, that's obviously a very good reason to have as many threaded inserts as possible. I wouldn't have even had the tool if they hadn't required them. Right. Da 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 da. So we got 4 drives, 4 motors, a set of screws that we don't need yet now. A bunch of shims still left over. The next step, we need some additional parts. So presumably that's a printed block and some rubber feet. So we're going to have a look through there for some printed parts. And we got some rubber feet there. Now these, as far as I remember, I opened them when I got them and they smell a lot. So let's have a look through here. Some enclosure. Aha, I think I see them. I mean, this is the Z Drives bag, so maybe I'll just leave this bag out. I'm guessing we're going to need more parts from this bag. Yeah. Oops, daisy. Get that lot all back in there. What a nice blue colour. Look at it. Beautiful. So we obviously need some M5 nuts. M5 hex nut. Oh, so daisy, my microphone cable's caught. Oh, we're going to need some M5 by 10, M3 by 8. M3 by 8, M5 by 10. Are these nuts a bit loose, is that what you're saying? Works for me. There seems to be a little bit of elephant's foot on the part, and that's just enough to keep them in. But yeah, the tolerance on these is a little loose, isn't it? Quite often a little bit better to be loose than too tight though. That'll be fine. Oh, yeah, it's powerful stuff. Haven't they got all? I need to punch the hole out. Ooh, that one's gone flying. So presumably that goes up from the bottom. I'm going to need 3mm hex. That's nowhere near long enough, is it? These feet are really not great quality at all. They look revolting. If everyone built Voron, all this M38 screws, dime a dozen. Oh, do I have to? I see. I need to put these on first, don't I? I see what you mean now. Once you put this on here, that nut is then able to fall down there. Yes, I can see the problem. Let's try one, see if I can get away with it. Oh, I think my delivery driver's just arrived, so I'll be back in just a minute. As I was saying, possibly the latest delivery anyone's ever had. 8:20 in the evening. But yes, Amazon, well done. You've just about delivered it today. So I'm just pointing it down to try and keep that M5 nut in place without having to glue it in, because that just seems annoying to me. Success. Yeah, I'm not saying your method was wrong. I want to avoid gluing it. Mainly because it's just going to take time to dry and I'll end up getting it all over my fingers and that kind of thing. I think if I was doing it off stream, I could potentially have done the same thing. This does the trick. Oh. Is there... Yes, they're not all the same. Yeah, it looks like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're all coming out of one place. It's a bit of a shame that they're not great quality, but kind of everything, right? Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. I like the way it just stands up of its own accord once it's attached. Oops, so daisy. Where are we going? This way around like so. Ah, someone got caught by the bar. Streamlabs bot does not like it when you use foul language. It's a very PC, well, not PC is it? It's a child-friendly bot. And one more of these. Impressions of the difference. I can't really give you anything yet. It's a bit early. I've mentioned a few things I think as I've gone of like, but there's nothing really conclusive of anything yet. Come on. Oh dear. There you go. No big problem. There was just a bit of a gap. I hadn't obviously pushed them together quite right as I assembled it. Tightened the grub screws the first time. Did it wrong. So there we go. Oh, there we go. So we got those 4 assemblies all sorted now. Looking pretty sweet. Very, very nice. Next up, more volume. I can't really, it's me just talking a bit more quiet as I'm not talking about something. My motor mounts are obviously a little bit different to those on the image. Motors. Oh yes, they're right here. Wakey wakey. So, it looks like that goes on here. Let's grab close up. Do 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 do. And try and get the right one. Try not to over tighten those, of course. Presumably these are going to mate up to this in some way. I'm just trying to make sure I don't, because I've got these sticking out. For now, I'm going to face those downwards. I think that's the lowest risk direction. Recommendation when installing motors, think about the orientation of the motor block. Yes, exactly what I am doing. These are, for anyone that missed the beginning, these are substitute motors. My motors have not arrived yet. Hopefully they should be here either the end of this week or the beginning of next week. So in one stream soon we'll go back and make the correction, or I'll just do it off stream, not sure. Seeing as I'm showing the whole process anyway, like, it doesn't seem wholly beneficial for me to show you how to replace them as well. How are we doing for time? We're an hour in already. How does it go so quickly? Manual say face sideways towards the centre of the machine. Yeah, but these are, as I said, they're substitutes, so it doesn't really matter at the moment. I'll make sure I get it right, because I don't know, like, it says sideways, but if one sideways is correct and the other sideways is wrong, then chances are I'll get one of them wrong, whereas if I put them all facing down, they're all wrong, but at least they won't be interrupted. Blimey. Project R3D team, thank you very much, it's very kind of you. What's the future of the V3WB Workbench? I'm sorry it didn't meet the goal, but I was looking forward to seeing it in the wild. So, that's a good question. I do... Shall I make a... Should we have a 2-minute break to talk about the workbench? So... obviously, as you mentioned, the Kickstarter was not successful, unfortunately, but it's definitely not the end. I want to get it out there somehow, and I think the way I'm going to do it is by making like an online calculator for creating a bill of materials. So a little bit like how Voron works, but with a bit more customization. So instead of just saying like the bed size and configuring one or two options, you could be able to change all the sizes, because the idea of it is to have a workbench that's personal to you and to get what you want the most out of it. Obviously everyone's workspace is different, but I'm going to suggest some optimal dimensions that I feel are good for 3D printing, so to be able to fit particular size printers and that kind of thing, but then have options for you to do whatever you want. So if you want the workbench like front to overhang a little bit, you can just change the dimension and it'll give you a BOM that's suitable for that design. So that's the plan with that. Don't know how or when that's going to happen yet. It's kind of obviously a lot of time went into getting it to where it got to, and I was hoping it would work a bit further just from there, but that's a no. So there will be some more coming. I just don't know when, because I need time obviously to invest into that, because I don't get anything back from it immediately. So that's where that is. Thank you for asking, and thank you very much for the donation. That's very kind of you. So, continuing on, the motor mounts, we got all those sorted now. By the way, love following your live streams, very relaxing. You're welcome, Patrick. And again, below the motors is where the bottom panel attached. Yeah, not going to worry about that at the moment. We're going to be replacing the motors presumably long before a bottom panel, I guess, hopefully. I don't know. We'll just have to deal with it. It's going to be the way it is for now, I think. Oh, and immediately is a panel. Well, this could go poorly or it could go fine. Who knows? Probably Patrick does, and many others, but we'll find out. Well, I'll find out soon enough. Evening, Sam. So, the sandwich. The bottom deck panel, excuse me, is held in place by mounting it between the din rails and bed extrusions using M5 fasteners. Depending on the thickness of your panel, you may need to use a washer so that the fasteners do not bottom out onto the extrusions. Also check the orientation. The notch is in the back. So, this is going to be a bit of a detour now, because my panels are not actually cut in the, well, let me show you. They're sort of cut, but they're not cut, if you see what I mean. They're cut, but they're not finished. Probably the best way to put it. Spin it around. Good evening. No worries about being late. Just turn up when you like. And you got the whole rest of it to rewind or whatever if you like anyway. So these are the panels that I'm using. I'm not sure I like the appearance of them all that much, so they may get changed at some point. But they were very cheap, so they're going to work for me for now. So you can see it's like this sort of, it's called, I believe it's called fluted PVC or something. Looking splendid with the apron. Yeah, I figured this would help. Apparently, well, I did some internet research and evidence suggested that having an apron helps. So, got an apron. Yeah, I don't know what size panel I actually need. And I'm going to have to work out how I need to cut it, because that's going to be needed right about now. Going to have to do a bit of a googly for the Voron GitHub, and I'm going to have to find myself some drawings. Shall I just show you this screen? Hopefully that's going to not be a problem. Going to look for, I guess, DXFs. Bottom panel 300. Yeah, that's an issue, isn't it? We've got PDF drawings. Bottom panel PDF. Okie. So I need to make that. Today's stream is not sponsored by Artillery 3D. Oops. So that's the plan. Yeah, aluminium composite is something that I've been using for years. The old dye bond aluminium. Used it even on Steve back in like 2016 or something. A little while ago. So I need to get a panel. Frame depth plus 40, frame width minus 40. So a square panel. So not this one. I guess it's going to be a small one. That looks like that. That looks like that. So this is the panel, I think. Hopefully, because this is what we're using. So the plan is that I'll just be able to, this builds up a lot of static, this stuff, to the point where I'm mildly concerned about it. I'm going to need to measure this out and cut it. It should be possible to do with just some basic tools. That's what I was told, so this is another reason why it's very cheap to do, because you don't need anyone to cut it for you using tools to get it accurate or do it without damaging it. You can just wing it. Oh dear. Someone's having a real fight with the bot this evening. Which kit is this? This is not a kit. Well, it's sort of kits, but not a kit. It's self-sourced, but where companies do like a partial kit of the things that they do, I've quite often gone with that. So it's like a kit of their stuff, plus a kit of their stuff, and a kit of their stuff. There's a BOM in the description. It's a Google Sheets document, so you can check that, and that'll give you all the information about what I bought, where I bought it from, and all that good stuff. Are you doing the bottom or the deck? Oh, is the deck a different piece? Ah, there's a deck. A deck. Ah, it's the deck. Yes, deck. Got it. Yeah, so the drawing we're looking for is this one, which is a little bit different. The panel is the same size, but the dimensions are quite numerous, in fact. So this could take a little while. Oopsie daisy. No, 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 nope. Pretend I didn't see any of that. Not that it was anything special. So 4 corners, we want 35 by 20. So how are we going to do this? I'm guessing it doesn't need to be too precise. At least I'm hoping it doesn't need to be too precise. This could be a bit of a shambles. So 20, 10, 20, 35 is there. Am I gonna... Yeah, I'm going to destroy my table if I do this, so I kind of want to cut onto something. What have I got I can cut onto? Nothing very convenient, really. This enormous whopping great piece of wood. Oh, that's the top camera. Oh, so Daisy, that's... Oh, right. Something else, do I think rack rig is better? I don't know yet. There we go, that's that corner cut out. So if you want a budget way to do this, seems like a pretty good option. It is certainly easy to cut, because obviously most of the material is just like air. How do you solve the icing problem? I know you've asked that a million times, and I finally get the thing from the joke from the Iron Man. But I've forgotten. Didn't he? I can't remember what he says. This one needs to be more. I think it won't warp with heat, but only because there's a lot of air in it and there's a good insulator. I imagine the top will probably deform. In the BOM, you might be able to find the temperatures that it suggests, actually. I can't remember. We may end up getting a different material for part of it. This is the difficult thing with the Voron, I think, because it isn't a pre-made kit. There's lots of things that you can kind of choose and modify and get wrong, which it's kind of nice that you can do it before you've built it, but the reality is that decision is very difficult to make before you've built it, because you have to go on what everyone else says, and that can, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that particularly, I suppose, but oops, that's the wrong button. Okay. So I'm guessing that's going to fit kind of in there. Right, those are them. Okay. So that's the corners. Now we've got to do a little cutout in the middle. We're going to need a tape measure. How wide is this? 420. So we're going to have something in that's 210, that's the middle. And it's 20 by 20. So 10 here, 20 there, 20 there, and 20 in from here. It's pretty janky, but if it works, it doesn't matter, right? So the next holes we need, not quite as easy to find. I kind of want to mark it. I don't have like a white pen. That would be really quite useful, I think. We can probably do this hole. So the hole is 15mm diameter, 80mm up from the bottom, 80mm up from this edge. And in the middle, so that's here. So we want So I'm going to cut out a square here, just because I can't really do a circle with a knife. Hopefully, I mean, I can't imagine the precision is going to be that important. And then we need some clearance holes around the middle in these kind of 4 positions here. Not super easy to mark. So it was 210 to the middle, 210 minus 75 is 145, right? 135 in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75, yep, 135. Can barely see it. There is a mark there, just, and 135 from this side. from the bottom we need 210 minus 60. So 10, 20, 30, 40, oh. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, of course it's 150. So 150 here, find my mark, that there, that's the middle of those holes. So we can mark the same up from this end, 150. And 135. One 150. Uh, 135 this way. And 150 in from there, isn't it? Yeah. Okie dokie. And then those need to be 10 by 16 mil each. This is more work than I expected, as always. And what was it, 15? It says 16, didn't it? 16 was it? 16. Something like that. This would obviously be a whole lot quicker process if you bought these. Hopefully that goes without saying. Right, let's cut them out. Damn it. There are people here, there's 62 people here. Everyone's just very quietly being patient. Oh, that's overcut. This is a high anxiety stream right now. Because I could cut myself at any moment. Why is this using the same thumbnail as Tom's video? It's not. It's a similar sort of style, granted. But for a start, the printed part is totally different colour. Yeah, that was safe. I wasn't going to cut myself, probably. So, now we've got a panel. I might do the rest of those off stream for your information, just because that took a little while and probably not that interesting. But at least we kind of shown that you can do it. So if you're interested in saving some money on one of the maybe less performant parts of the printer, that could be a good way to do it. And because it's got a lot of air, it should insulate pretty well as well. So it should be good for the enclosure. So we need our printer back, unsurprisingly. I'm hoping the DIN rail will fit as it is. I really hope I don't have to cut that. That could be problematic. Oh, bugger. Why? Why you no cut shorter? It's like the exact length. I'm thinking. I'm not really equipped to cut this at the moment. I could hack at it with some cutters, like side cutters, but I'm not sure that's a fantastic idea. No, that's not a fantastic idea. That's made it worse, actually, because now it sticks out the end. Oh, tragic. They really should spec these to just be 10mm shorter. Oh, it fits now. How did I manage that? Was it the other one that didn't fit? Okay. Let's do the magic hitty with this. There you go. It just kind of bent the end. Yeah. That's the point we've got to now. Oh, that didn't help. It was obviously just the other one. Okay, it kind of fits. What am I doing? What am I doing? Nobody show anyone what just happened. That never officially happened. You're all imagining it. This doesn't really fit either. So, how do we even put this in? So those are going that way. The rails are going across it. This is going that way. That way. Everything's kind of symmetrical at the moment, so it doesn't actually matter too much. But it is a bit wide, this panel, so I'm going to cut down the width a little bit. Do. Skills. If you've got a bit more patience than me, you could definitely do this better, I would say. The only inherent flaw in this system is me. Right, that slot in. So is it going to be any different the other way around? I don't think it is. I think this way is going to be best. So how do we screw those in? M5 by 10. M5 by 10. And we're going to need some of those T-nuts, aren't we? Ooh. I could sand a tiny bit off the end, but then I'd just get the like aluminium filing everywhere. I don't really want to make a mess, so. Four of these. Oh, what am I doing? Don't need that back. Got them all under here. But I'm not going to use my nice tools for jamming things into slots. That doesn't seem like a good idea, does it? Let's use something else. This one's I think the easier thing to do is just widen the holes in these. This is going to be weird though, because don't you need to? Shouldn't these be at a set width? Like at the moment, I'm setting these according to how these fit, and that seems totally backwards because these are going to be the width of this. Isn't that set by the bed? So why are these not in a set position? That seems weird. This is just not going to work very well. The DIN rail doesn't fit the screw. The holes in the DIN rail are not wide enough. They're only 4mm wide. This is bizarre. I'm pretty sure this kit was for Voron. And not only has it damaged the aluminium extrusion, the M5 screws are not going to fit. How is that a thing? The bottom deck panel is held in place by mounting it between the DIN rail and bed extrusions using M5 fasteners. Depending on the thickness of your panel, you may need to use a washer. Cutting DIN. DIN rail has mounting holes that need to align with the holes we are using to mount through the deck panel. We recommend you cut the DIN rail smaller than the maximum width of the bottom frame so that you can align these properly. Use M4. Well, I can't use M4 because I don't have any M4 T-nuts. Why is there not? That's mildly infuriating. In the meantime, another quick, the last little quick promo for the sponsors. This live stream would not have been possible without our sponsors, Filafarm and Big Tree Tech. Filafarm are a 3D printing bed specialist based in Germany. Filaprint is their high-performance, durable print surface designed to grip parts tightly when hot, but release them when cold. Their switch system utilises a strong magnetic sticker and 0.6mm spring steel to allow for easy swapping of bed surfaces. The bed plates offered are made from cast aluminium plate and are extremely flat, helping you get the best adhesion across the whole first layer. All of this can be made to standard sizes or customised upon request. Keep on watching to find out more, or follow the links in the video description. The Big Tree Tech Octopus is a 32-bit control board with loads of connectivity options for performance 3D printers like the Voron 2.4 and Raprig VCore 3. It can connect up to 8 stepper drivers, 8 fans, 6 end stops, 5 thermistors, 4 heaters plus BL Touch, RGB LEDs, a TFT screen, USB-C and more. Pairing the Octopus with TMC 2209 stepper motor drivers allows for quiet operation using Stealth Chop, performance using Spread Cycle and Stool Guard for sensorless homing. Big Tree Tech also offer a mini 12864 display, which is ideal for the Voron 2.4 design. Check the links in the description to find out more. Right, I have a sort of plan. This is one of those don't try this at home moments. This could be a little unsafe. Yeah, this is not going to work. I don't know why I thought it would. You can't drill through a slot, it's not going to... It just grabs the edge. Salem Bema is really getting destroyed by the bot today. Too many full stops. Can we get around it? That's the question. See, I don't think I have any M4 T-nuts. M3. I don't want to... it's just infuriating. Now that I've put those in, I have to unscrew this to get them out. That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to go M3, which is totally wrong, but we don't have any choice. What's that? Mount it with M3, then drill. Don't understand. Okay. Probably going to have to use M3x8s, I'm guessing. M3 washers probably going to be useful because the slot's pretty wide. And we need the M3 T-nuts, which I cannot see now. It's the M5 ones. Did I have them down here? No, kind of don't. Here they are. Right. Let's try that again. Let's get this away, don't need this. Can we finally get it mounted? Need to position these in the right place. About there, that about there. That one's okay. Move this one to here. Pink shorts and a white shirt. Is that going to be the official Vector 3D uniform? Wasn't planning on it, must say. Why am I trying to use M3x8s when it was M5x10? I should have M3x10. I'll need to fetch it. I have to take my lead with me. Oh, this is a reach over the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's this? Oh, it's slipped. There we go. Oh, the nut's not quite in the right place. There we go, that'll do. Hopefully this rail fits just perfectly here. Nope. There. Might not look particularly special, but it is mounted. That's a big gap. I think that's not too bad, all things considered. Definitely functional. That's the main thing. Now, I think the next part we're looking at getting these drives installed. So I'm using M5x40 screws. Set these. Yep. Not black, these ones, unfortunately, but what can you do? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Install bottom deck panel. Flip the frame over and install the deck panel. We're going to be working inverted for a little bit. You probably want to tape the carriages in place so they don't fall off the ends of the rails when you flip the machine. I don't need to worry about that. So, mounting this. We're going to need to reference a CAD here, I think, because it's not totally obvious what orientation I'm looking at for this assembly. It's a little bit weird. Looks like that would be right. So I'm just going to open up the Voron CAD in Fusion 360, and I'm going to take a little bit of a better look at where these are actually situated so I can make sure I get the orientation correct. Maybe it's going to be difficult to get it wrong, but I mean, with these slots, could you mount it? You can mount the other one that way and this one. I don't know quite what I'm looking at, that's the thing. Fusion 360 seems to take a little bit longer to load when I've got a stream running, which I guess kind of makes some sense a little bit. Oh yeah, it's making the stream all go weird. So if we can switch over to here. So you can see bed rails there, and that's facing the side of the printer, so that will be that way. How's that get? Oh, that's getting up through there, is it? No. Is this the wrong side? That's the same as that. That's that one, so that would go there. That looks like it's feasible. Yeah, I reckon that's the thing. That's the ticket, so let's get that in there and that in there. And we need to get 2 M5 nuts into here. Yeah, I could see the Z rail, I suppose. Maybe I did have enough information. It's just confusing because I'm doing it in this orientation. I'm doing it laying down. I think that added layer of what the fuck was just enough for me to not quite see where it's supposed to go. Now that's going to be the wrong size. You need 4 mil. 4 mil. So just trying to get the nuts in the right place. Let's scooch them over. Just want to get the separation right, and then we can slide them all together into the right position afterwards. Righty ho, that's in. That's looking pretty sweet. Me likey. So the other one should be a bit easier than that. Now that I know, I can just kind of make everything symmetrical. So that's just going to go here. So let's get screws in the end. And then we just put some nuts in front of those. Thank you, Daniel. I don't think you have to expect DIY for a DIY printer. Like, the assembly and sourcing is the DIY. Not to say you can't do that part yourself, but just because it's a DIY printer doesn't mean you have to be literally manufacturing the parts that you're assembling. Because otherwise you could say, well, if you're manufacturing the parts as DIY, you should have to source your own material, your raw material. You should have to build your own stepper motors. Like you've got to draw a line somewhere. Granted, everyone's line will be in a different place, I'm sure. Oh, because these are the M5 ones, I want the bigger Allen key back. There we go. Let's just use this one to get that spacing right. Well, I'm almost dead on anyway. Not got you much of a good angle here, have I? Oh, by the way, don't forget to like the stream if you haven't. Subscribe if you're expecting to watch some more. That way you'll get notified for when I do go live. Is anyone receiving problems with the stream? Is it buffering? I mean, we're basically at the end now, but... Yeah, I mean, normally I'd get stuff cut, but I mean, exterior panels are just so blooming expensive. Like acrylic, polycarbonate, all that kind of stuff, and just getting them cut to size with the holes and everything is so expensive. Okay, good. Glad the stream. YouTube's telling me that it's going to be rubbish, but if you're all telling me it's fine, then we know it's fine. So, motors. So we've got our motors here. Looks like we're going to need some little levers. 1, 2, 3, 4, what, 5, what, 6. I'm guessing maybe sometimes they break. That's kind of dandy, isn't it? I like that. So now we've got to find a way to put these on the things. So what's going to be this direction? And that goes, come down here. We're really dark again today, aren't we, on this camera? That's going to go in here. Presumably that then goes in there, and that tightens it with the cam. That is quite smart. That is quite smart. Oop, that's not. And 5 by 10. Oh, I'm going to need the other nut's got to get in there, hasn't it? Other way then, I guess. I don't know why I told you to put the polys on this way around. I think they're going to be better the other way. Maybe not, maybe yes, maybe no. Bit difficult. Let's see, where does it sit naturally? Right down there. Yeah, it's in the middle of no man's land, really, that. Smash the like button. So then we go with this in here and another M5B10. Get that in there. Ooh. The pulleys have to line up from the top idler, so if you reverse it on the motor, the belt won't fit. Pulley direction depends on the motor shaft length. Bomb motors have quite long ones. Okay, so I guess what I'll find is when I've got the proper motors, I'll be able to put them on the other way around. I can't see that being, I mean, this is going to work just fine, surely. There's not anything going to change that now. That's the position where it's in. I mean, the downside is that you can't access the grub screws very easily. You can from the bottom. Maybe that's why they opened this a little bit. It's not super rigid, is it? Looks okay though. Let's get some more of these in. So this is going to be the symmetrical opposite. That's okay. I'm going to switch the pulley around on this as well. Yep, that's okay. Looks nice. Flip it over. Do the other side. Gonna need some more M5B10s. On there, that down there, that down there. Let's get this off. Yeah, see the flat on this shaft goes like all the way into the motor, so you've got loads of flexibility with where you can put the pulley. Chat is rather quiet tonight. Maybe everyone's tired. Chat tends to be a little quieter on a Wednesday because I guess because it's midweek. Everyone's in the middle of their hard work week. Very happy with that. It's definitely, here you go, here's a rat rig comparison. The complexity is definitely much higher. I'm not going to say whether, well, there's no real answers to whether that's a good or bad thing, but it is definitely a thing. There's a lot more printed parts and things to mess up, it feels like. I mean, the rat rig took me like 12 streams. I feel at the moment like this one's going to take me longer. Forgot to put the belt over the pulley. Come on, in you go. Oh, don't be a bastard. There we go. I installed the pulleys like you are now by mistake and found out later I had to take them all apart. It has been warm weather. I've been working in this room all day today. It's like a sweat box. Yeah, I'll put the connector in the right place. Is it supposed to go to the inside then, next to this, or this? Well, I guess this way would make more sense, wouldn't it? So you want it on the side where the mount is. Yeah, you're thinking of the Z. You're thinking of the ones like in here. Oh, you can't see on any angle. Let's just make sure we're clear for reference for anyone else watching. So you've obviously got the 16 teeth and the 80 teeth. This is like a single system between the motor and this pulley. And then you've got the 9mm wide one in here, and that's what's going to drive the long belt all the way up for the Z. So yeah, if you had this one the wrong way around, I can see how that could be a problem. Especially if you're kind of adjusting it yourself at this stage, like I am. I've just put this one the other way around to align nicely with this. But yeah, this one I'm pretty sure I got all the correct way around, so it should be fine. Cool, if you had those backwards, man, that would be a lot of backtracking. I feel sorry for you. Oof. Right. Close the belt tensioner, tighten the bolts. I think that's going to actually do it for us today. Thought I'd get a bit further, to be honest. It feels like I've not done very much, but there's quite a lot to these little assemblies. So, and we obviously spent quite a while cutting out this plastic panel, which took a rather long time, didn't it? So any of the other ones, I'm going to try and probably cut those between streams. I don't think there's much of entertainment value to get from that. So, yeah, pretty happy with how we progressed today. I do like these little assemblies. They are quite neat. The motor mounts at the moment are looking a little flexible, but not in the principal direction that's going to be mostly important, so not too worried about that. All looking pretty good, I think. Before we finish, does anyone have any questions? I'm going to start tidying up a little bit. Yeah, it would be good to have an updated manual. It does. I mean, the fact that these don't match is, for some people, could probably be confusing if it's your first. It'd be quite a build for a first build, but people do it. No heated inserts, unfortunately, today. Threaded inserts, I should say. Hopefully some more of those next time. Not sure when the next stream's going to be at the moment. Probably the weekend. Excuse me. Probably Saturday. We might try and do one at a different time, so keep an eye out on your subscriptions and my Twitter for the notifications on when that's going to be. Right. Let's get these out of the way. So there you have it. That's where we've got to. There is a certain style about these parts. I do like the look of them. Obviously, time will tell whether that's just an aesthetic or whether they're good as well. So, liking how it's going so far. Obviously, quite a detailed build. Could be quite a lot for your first build, but I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. So, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you everyone for watching. I know it's nice and warm in the middle of the week, but there you go. It's good to get these things progressed. And of course, the live stream will be always available online anyway, so if you're catching up at a later date, it's still all there for you. Next live stream on Saturday. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all